and Virginia Tech's Chris Cunningham started to gain some recruiting buzz as a tight end out of Jacksonville, Florida. He remembers Miami was among the colleges who paid him a visit at Atlantic Coast High. It didn't go well. His interaction with Miami, which hosts number 13 Tech, 7-1-3-1 Atlantic Coast Conference at 8 p.m. Saturday in a huge ACC Coastal Division game, partially explains how the Hokies ascended his list of prospective college destinations. He's among a group of Florida-raised kids who either spurned a scholarship offer from Miami and headed north to Tech, detoured elsewhere like wide receiver kick returner James Clark, before linking up with Tech, or never got an opportunity to play for Miami in the first place. Cunningham fits the latter description. In truth, he never really was a big Hurricanes guy, but his early conversation with the Miami assistant coach confirmed his feelings about the U. I can still remember to this day, when Miami came to my high school and the linebackers coach, I guess he was the recruiter in the Jacksonville area, he kind of said that I was undersized, said Cunningham, who is now a 6'2", 241-pound redshirt sophomore tight end at Tech. I always think about that. I have a real good memory of certain things, mainly recruiting, but I remember he said I was undersized because I was shorter than him. They told me I wouldn't play in the ACC or any stuff like that, so it's sort of like a little chip on my shoulder when I play Miami. Though he's one of 7 Florida products on Tech's roster, Cunningham is also among 4 Sunshine State native Hokies who didn't receive an offer from Miami, 7-0-5-0, which can clinch the division title Saturday with a win, and a Virginia loss to Georgia Tech. The Hurricanes are 10th in the college football playoff rankings and 9th in the Associated Press poll. The experience of getting the cold shoulder from the Hurricanes stuck with Cunningham, but they didn't really capture his attention in high school anyway. Not at all, said Cunningham, who had a career-high 3 catches for 48 yards last Saturday in Virginia Tech's 24-3 win against Duke, bringing his season total to 5 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. In high school, I was an up-tempo, Oregon type of guy. Clark, a 5'10", 185-pound redshirt senior from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, was a bigger deal coming out of New Smyrna Beach High in recruiting circles for the 2013 class than Cunningham was in Jacksonville for the 15 class. As both a prominent track sprinter and a football player considered by most recruiting analysts one of the nation's top 35 receiver prospects in the 13 class, Clark had at least 25 offers. His speed and his potential as a threat on the perimeter of the field instantly put him on the radar for Miami, which wasted no time making an impression on Clark. Miami was actually my first offer, said Clark, who finally returned to game action 2 weeks ago against North Carolina, after missing 3 weeks with an undisclosed injury or injuries. I want to say the first collegiate game that I went to, I remember Miami played against Georgia Tech, and I went to Miami a long time ago. After the Miami offer, Clark's recruitment picked up. He ultimately earned an offer from Ohio State, and after visiting the Columbus campus, he made a signing day decision in February 13 to become a Buckeye. He ran track at Ohio State, becoming part of the second fastest 4x100-meter relay in school history, but his football career was hampered by ankle and hamstring injuries in his first 2 seasons, and he couldn't climb the Buckeyes' depth chart. Clark graduated with a degree in finance, but he didn't have a catch until last year in his redshirt junior season, when he had 6 receptions for 47 yards. Not satisfied with ending his football career at that stage, he opted to head elsewhere early this year as a graduate transfer. Miami didn't play much of a factor in his decision, but the Hokies ended up being high on his list, and he decided in March to transfer to Virginia Tech. With me graduating and having the freedom to go wherever, I wanted to explore and see what was out there, kind of looking for bigger opportunities than where I was at previously, said Clark, who returned 5 kickoffs in the first 3 games this season, including one for 44 yards in the opener against West Virginia, before getting injured. So, You see a school like Virginia Tech and what they offer, and not just as far as the football team and the offense and everything, but just as far as the campus and the people and the atmosphere, it's very hard to turn down. As for his feelings about Miami now, well, he doesn't believe he's missing much. They're a great team, but I'm looking forward to beating them this weekend, said Clark, who has 4 catches for 64 yards this season. Cunningham mirrors Clark when it comes to that sentiment. Undersized or not, Cunningham only thinks of Miami now as a source of motivation. I'm glad they didn't offer me because of that, Cunningham said. They just overlooked me, so I'm glad I'm at Virginia Tech. I'm glad that we get to play them this Saturday.